Hello everyone, it's Nuclear Fuel here, and today we're going to be talking about the long debate, Frozen Blaze versus Necron. There's been a long time conversation about which set was better, and I'm here to show my data and my thoughts on each of the sets. Alright, let's get into the video. So first off, let's talk about the gear. All the gear is 7-starred except for the Necron chestplate, which is 8-starred, so just keep that in mind. Everything else should be identical, and if it is a little bit different, it does not matter for this test. All right, now moving on, let's talk about the pets. All the pets used here were level 100 and 200 for the Jade Golden Dragon. I used a Diamond Necron head and a Terminator shown here. Okay, the testing was all done in Master Mode Floor 7, and I'm a Kata 50, Archer 48. I did not do any testing outside of dungeons, as Frozen Blaze is only meant to be a set that's used in dungeons, and it's only really great for higher Master Mode floors, as its EHP really shines there. You'll see more as we show the results. Anyways, the sets that we're going to compare is 3/4 Frozen Blaze with the Diamond Necron head and a Blaze pet, against a 3/4 Necron with Diamond Necron head, an Ender Dragon pet, a Golden Dragon pet, and a Baby Yeti pet. So there will be a total of 4 set combinations in this comparison. Alright, let's get to the testing methodology here. I will enter a dungeon with the frag bot so that I'll be the only person in the dungeon, and I'll select the Archer class and drink a Dungeon 6 potion with the Jellyfish pet. Then I would get to Trap Room and try to get as little blessings as possible. Then I would check my EHP with all 4 set combinations and do a damage test on the death mites in the trap room with all 4 set combinations. And then I will fully clear the map and go back to the trap room and check my EHP with all 4 set combinations again and test my damage on the death mites with all 4 set combinations. This testing methodology was found by 15H and Yarns, so special thanks to them. Alright, so here are the results. So, minimal blessings and the damage chest. So, there is nothing surprising with the Golden Dragon here. It obviously does the most damage. Necron plus Baby Yeti, it's also obvious that it does the least damage. There's no surprise with those two. The main surprise here is Frozen Blaze and the Ender Dragon pet. Frozen Blaze does more damage than Ender Dragon somehow in this comparison. This is shocking, as before the Ender Dragon was made additive, it was doing more damage than Frozen Blaze set, but now Frozen Blaze is beating out Necron and Ender Dragon. This surprised me here. Alright, let's keep going. So, minimal blessings EHP. Frozen Blaze obviously is known for its EHP, and it's kind of getting close to the Necron plus Baby Yeti, which is absolutely insane. And Necron and Ender Dragon again loses to Frozen Blaze. And Golden Dragon, there's no surprise there. It has the least amount of HP. Again, the main thing to note is the Frozen Blaze and the Ender Dragon Necron combination. It is beating out Necron in both EHP and damage here. Just keep that in mind as we go through the rest of the numbers. Alright, so full blessings damage. Again, no surprise, Golden Dragon does the most. And Necron and Ender Dragon, again, losing to Frozen Blaze in damage. Yeti, no surprise, doing less damage. Same thing with EHP here, Yeti having the most, this time pulling a little bit further ahead than Frozen Blaze. No big deal. Frozen Blaze sitting right in between Necron and Baby Yeti. Necron with Ender Dragon and Baby Yeti, I should say. And Golden Dragon having the least EHP, no surprise there. Again, even with full blessings, Frozen Blaze beats Necron and Ender Dragon in both EHP and damage. Alright, let's get to the cost. So, this might be shocking to you, but Frozen Blaze is the cheapest of all of the sets here. I don't think it's a surprise for the Golden Dragon on why it's so expensive. And there's a reason why Frozen Blaze and Blaze is cheaper than Baby Yeti. I will get to that later on. There's an interesting quirk with this set. If you're buying it clean, then the price would be around the same as Necron plus Baby Yeti, but there are some interesting things going on with the auction house. We'll get to that in the next slide. But yeah, remember how the Necron and Ender Dragon was doing less damage and gave less EHP than Frozen Blaze and Blaze. Turns out it's way more expensive. That's interesting, isn't it? All right, let's keep moving. So cost comparison here. So here's the in red is what I was talking about. The interesting part about it. You can get a Frozen Blaze armor piece for 30 mil from Auction House that has Growth 6, Protection 6, Recom, Fumings, and has Legion 5 on it. I don't know why it's that way, but you can buy Frozen Blaze pieces for that price. Necron, you can't do the same. You have to buy it clean and upgrade it. That's the cheapest way to get to the 7-star Necron that I was using in this comparison. And also, a side note, in the green bar, you can see that I included the bank balance for the Golden Dragon in the cost of the pet because any amount you have in the bank is consumed pretty much because you can't withdraw it or spend it or you would get no damage. So I consider the cost of the Golden Dragon to be 2 billion coins. So those were the two things that I wanted to point out when calculating the total cost of the sets. All right, let's keep moving here. This is a fun one that I wanted to do. I just saw the previous graph on how like cheap Frozen Blaze was to the performance it was getting. I just wanted to do like a damage per million spent analysis on it. So I just took the damage and divided by the cost of all the armor and the pet, and then I multiplied it by 1,000,000 just to see how much damage each set was doing for each 1,000,000 coins you spend. And here, Frozen Blaze absolutely demolishes every other set, doubling Necron and Baby Yeti's damage per million spent. It makes sense that Necron plus Baby Yeti is the highest because the Baby Yeti is so cheap, and you're not doing like a lot less damage than Ender Dragon. You're dealing significantly less, but not enough to make the 650 million cost of the Ender Dragon make up for it. But the Frozen Blaze, it is absolutely insane how cost efficient this set is. Here's another example, cost to EHP ratio. In this test, it even beats out the Necron and Baby Yeti. And Skyblock is all about diminishing returns here. I totally agree with that. But going back to this damage test here, remember how Frozen Blaze was dealing more damage and it has more HP than Necron and Ender Dragon? What is the point of having such a horrible damage per million spent ratio if you're dealing more damage with the set that gives you a much better damage per million spent? The Golden Dragon is the only one that can make sense here since it was doing more damage. But the other two just don't make any sense. You're just dealing more damage and you're getting more out of your money with Frozen Blaze. All right. So let's talk about a secret ace that Frozen Blaze has up its sleeve. So many of you may not know this, but people were comparing Frozen Blaze to Shadow Assassin when Shadow Assassin armor came out. And it turns out that it was a close contest, but now people are comparing it against Necron, and it still is a close contest. What is happening? It's not like this armor set was upgraded that much or anything. Well, it turns out it gets upgraded a lot more than people think it does. This stat on the Blaze Pet, highlighted in red, Bling Armor, upgrades the Blaze Armor stats and ability by 40%. Many of you may think, oh, it's just like the Ender Dragon, upgrading everything by 10%. Well, you gotta think about it a little bit differently here. Let's say they introduce an item like the Jasper Gemstone that gives you strength. And let's assume, I'm just saying, let's assume that the item that gives strength gives 10 strength to an armor piece. Well, to Necron, it would only give 10 extra strength. But to Frozen Blaze, it gives 14 extra strength because of this Blaze Pet. And if you consider Necron with an Ender Dragon, you're only getting 11 extra strength. So any update that the admins push out where you're adding an armor upgrade, the Frozen Blaze is going to be upgraded by 1.4 times as much as all other armor sets. So as time goes on, Frozen Blaze is going to age like fine wine. it is going to get more and more powerful while the other stats start lagging behind it, just because of this one Bling Armor perk. The only way to stop this would be to change the perk on Frozen Blaze. I mean, sorry, the perk on the Blaze Pet. It has to be changed, or else any new update that upgrades armor is going to put Frozen Blaze further and further ahead of every other armor set. That's the that's the secret of Frozen Blaze. It's the reason why it's been in contest with the best armor sets, while it hasn't received that many drastic changes. Because all the smaller and smaller upgrades, like Precursor Gear wasn't out when Frozen Blaze came out, Gemstones were not out, Art of Peace wasn't out. All of those things are upgraded by 40% with the Bling Armor perk. It is absolutely insane, and any future thing will also get upgraded. Did you guys know that the health regen that they added with the latest update was also affected by Bling Armor? On the bottom, you can see Necron with only just 10, but Frozen Blaze getting 14 because of the Blaze Pet. Again, as time goes on, the Frozen Blaze armor will just get stronger and stronger, and it will get further and further ahead of Necron. It's just how this perk works. This perk has to be changed. Until then, Frozen Blaze all the way. All right. So, time for a quick analysis and a conclusion. So, who is this set for? So, Frozen Blaze, I would say, is for people who are trying to do master mode floors and are looking for a more HP oriented build while not losing too much damage. Or it's also for people who are on a budget that do not want to go full out and spend the money to get a Necron and Golden Dragon. People may say that Necron Golden Dragon all the way, but the average Master Mode Floor 5 player will not have a Necron and Golden Dragon. They would much rather have a Frozen Blaze set than Necron with Yeti or Ender Dragon. Frozen Blaze is not meant to be played as a DPS class. For example, if you're an archer, you can use Frozen Blaze to clear the dungeon, but do not use it during the boss fight. Necron and Golden Dragon will get you a lot more damage and a lot better boss fight. The 25% damage increase is monstrous. It is ridiculous for the boss phases. The EHP is just not worth it. You're going to be around your tank for the entire boss fight. So it's only worth it for the clear. Do not use it in the boss fight. Frozen Blaze is a great clear set. Go ahead, run into all the mobs you want and tank everything and do all the damage you want to the monsters, but do not use it if you're the DPS class in a boss fight, aka Archer or Berserker. It's a great healer, it's a great tank, it's a great fake mage, it's a great Burzen Archer clear set, but do not use it during boss or as a DPS class. That is my only thing that I will say with Frozen Blaze. Anyways, I think that is all I've wanted to say about the set. It is an extremely good set. I would say try it out. The EHP is insane. I personally have been playing with this set for quite a while in Master Mode Floor 7. It is absolutely my favorite set when compared to Necron and Golden Dragon. I have actually noticed my deaths go down a lot when compared to Necron and Golden Dragon just because of the amount of EHP I have. And the damage drop is not that great in the clear. You will not notice it that much. In the boss you will, but not during the clear. Because of Soul Eater. Soul Eater does most of your damage anyway, so the base damage does not really matter. Again, it's a great set. Check it out if you're on a budget. Check it out if you're still using a Necron and an Ender Dragon. Time to ditch the Ender Dragon, I guess. It's just not worth it at this point. Frozen Blaze is just doing more damage. Anyways, I will also release a follow-up video with all my testing so you guys can clearly see how I've done the testing here and validate my methods. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, guys.